Creative Uses of GenAI. Part 1. GenAI can be a great tool, but your creativity is what turns it into genuine learning. In a two-part series, we will explore 8 creative, ethical, and highly practical ways where AI can help you develop stronger academic writing skills. In Part 1, we will explain how these tools work and walk through 4 approaches with real examples, concrete prompts, and tips to ensure you stay in control of your own voice and ideas. Let's begin. Generative AI tools such as ChatGPT are powered by large language models, which are trained on vast collections of texts. This enables them to recognize patterns in language, structure, and argumentation. For students, they can help build skills like structuring arguments or refining language. The difference between merely copying AI output and genuinely improving your writing lies in how imaginatively you design prompts, select and reshape suggestions, and stay in command of every decision. In other words, using AI tools creatively could help amplify your thinking rather than replacing it. There are many areas where GenAI could help us improve our skills. In Part 1, we will focus on 4 main areas. They are text generation, idea organization and outlining, feedback and evaluation, and exercise creation and practice. Let's have a look at text generation. Suppose you are a neuroscience student writing the introduction for a research proposal on sleep spindles and memory consolidation in children, but you don't know where to start. What can you do? Well, this is where GenAI can come to your rescue. Instead of simply generating the full text, a more creative approach is to use AI to suggest varied starting points. First, you need to identify the gap, the purpose, and the tone you want. With that, you can give AI clear requirements. Here's an example. Please draft 3 distinctly different opening paragraphs for a neuroscience research proposal examining sleep spindles and memory consolidation in children. The key gap is the scarcity of longitudinal pediatric data. The purpose is to justify a 12-month study using wearable EEG technology. Use a curious yet precise and concise tone. Mark any claim that requires a citation. Then, from the 3 provided versions, extract the best sentence or transition, combine them, and rewrite everything in your own words. Finally, insert verified references and read the paragraph aloud to check the flow. In this process, you will actively practice rhetorical invention, deciding how to frame background, narrow down the focus, and articulate purpose. What about this case? Suppose you are writing a sociology essay exploring whether platform-based gig work increases economic instability, but your notes are a jumble of statistics, interview quotes, and conflicting theoretical perspectives. How can you organize these thoughts effectively? First, begin by feeding the raw material to the AI with a prompt saying, "Here are my research notes and quotations for an essay on gig work and financial instability. Please reorganize them into clearly labeled categories: definitions and measurements of instability, evidence that gig work increases instability, evidence that it reduces instability, policy recommendations, and contradictions or gaps. Use bullet points and keep my original wording wherever possible." Once the material is categorized, you can go further and ask for alternative outline architectures. Say, for example, using the categorized notes above, propose 3 different outline structures for an 8 to 10-page argumentative essay. A. Problem, cause, solution framework. B. Comparative framework. C. Claim, counterclaim, rebuttal framework. For each structure, provide section headings and 2 or 3 key points per section. Read the provided structures side by side, then choose the one that best matches the strength of your evidence. Add your own original transitions between sections, decide where counter-arguments should appear, and delete any proposed point that is poorly supported. After writing the first draft, you will need to further refine it. Suppose you have drafted the methods section of an engineering lab report, but you worry that it's wordy and lacks sufficient detail. Again, instead of asking vaguely for feedback, you can guide AI by specifying a structure. You can say, here are my methods section and the marking rubric. Using the 4 criteria, clarity, replicability, concision, and ethical reporting, please evaluate the draft. For each criterion, quote one specific sentence or passage as evidence, and then propose one revision task I can follow step by step. By adding details to your prompt, you can get response that is more precise and actionable. For an even tougher test, add a second prompt. Now act as a reviewer for the journal Measurement Science and Technology. Write 5 critical questions about this method section that, if left unanswered, would cause the paper to be rejected. In this approach, you will be the one who decides which suggestions to accept, which to modify, and which to reject, allowing you to develop the crucial skill of reflecting on your own thinking and writing. Generative AI shines at creating personalized practice material. Let's think about this use of AI. Please create 15 fill-in-the-blank sentences designed to practice appropriate hedging and cautious language in academic writing. Specifically, target overconfident verbs and boosters I tend to overuse, such as prove, definitely, obviously, clearly, always. Provide an answer key that contains at least 2 acceptable alternatives for each blank. Then follow up by stating your personalized needs. For each of the following claims taken from my draft, indicate whether the evidence justifies low, medium, or high confidence, and recommend specific hedging language. After completing the exercises, you could also compile the best phrasings into a personal hedging bank, which can then be applied systematically to your real writing. While generative AI is a remarkably powerful learning partner, it can also produce convincing but incorrect claims or references. Over-reliance of AI can weaken your own critical abilities. In Part 2, we will see how GenAI could help us with language analysis and refinement, research assistance and citation, critical thinking and reflection, and finally, style and genre exploration. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching, and make sure you check out Part 2.